We have Ms. Alvarez joining us remotely, Ms. Fabiano is here, Ms. Shanley is running a few minutes late. I have Mr. Zeichner here with me as well, and all the amazing supervisors and district administrators. We can get started because it's a very packed agenda, and I do want to give you guys kudos for keeping it going through the summer at the base. We have, I think, 18 curriculum documents tonight, and we will start with Dr. Roselle. All yours.
All right, I am going to do all of my world language documents first. So there were a bunch of world language documents that were up this year. I had presented one last month as well. The goal of our world language program is to promote multilingualism and multiculturalism. So we study language through culture. We provide students ample opportunities to try different languages as well. Students have 2 opportunities to choose language in 7th grade and in high school, and they can also switch it up once they get to high school. We did focus on some of our honors documents, but I want everyone to understand that the path to Seal of Biliteracy, which is our ultimate goal for all students, can be attained not only through that honors path, but also through the standard path, through our alternative pathways, being a heritage speaker or native speaker of a language as well. So I'm going to start with honors French. This document was updated to reflect the new New Jersey Student Learning Standards for World Language in 2020. We also aligned it again as we look to beef up our dual enrollment programs, working to make sure that our documents will satisfy the requirements of any collegiate partnerships that we have as well. So each of the units has project-based assessments. Students study real world kind of applications of language at this level. So at the level core, they're looking at art, they're looking at careers, they're looking at issues with climate or economics. Going down, switching to Spanish, we have Spanish 4, Spanish 3 honors, and Spanish 2 honors as well. Again, these documents were updated to reflect the 2020 New Jersey Student Learning Standards. Again, making sure that we really have engaging project-based applicable units. So world language does not look like it did when we were in high school. It's not just a study of grammar. We're really looking at different issues around the global issues through the study of language. Our grade 7 document was updated because grade 7 is returning to a full year of study. So we made sure that that is aligned to the 2020 standards and that it is also going to take students where they are in grade 6, prepare them for grade 8 so that our course sequence, there's no disruption to our course sequence there. So those are the world language documents. And then I have grade 6 advanced DLA. So last year was the first year that these courses ran. We developed the advanced language arts program at the middle school. We mapped the documents last year, worked with the teachers. And this year they updated the standards and kind of put the finishing touches on them. I love the grade 6 document because it starts with an essay. Students come in the first week of school and they write an essay, a "This I Believe" essay. And it's amazing to hear what 11 and 12-year-olds think about the world around them, what they believe. And then that same idea is revisited at the end of the year. So students take another look at what they wrote in September. They look at all the learning that they did, the different experiences they had, how the world has changed in the last 10 months. And not only do they update that, but they also write a reflection of their learning. So embedded in each of these advanced DLA documents is a lot of metacognitive activities where students are thinking about their learning styles, what their interests are. They're engaging in goal setting with the teachers, gathering artifacts for portfolios so that they can continue honing those skills. Students are doing more rigorous tasks. The students identified for the advanced DLA program on multiple measures of data are working at least one grade level beyond their grade level peers. So those are my documents. I know that was quick, but we have a packed agenda, so if anyone has any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
I will start with the questions and then I'll pass it on. When do we start French? In
Grade 7.
six. So grade seven, they had Italian and French.
French, Italian, or Spanish.
Oh,
Correct.
so they're three languages.
Yes.
So this honors four is this usually taken by seniors or juniors?
Juniors or seniors. So what happens is in grade 8, our grade 8 teachers use the guidance that we provide to recommend students to either retake level 1 if they did struggle a little bit, go into level 2, which is where most of our students go into level 2 honors. So students who are really performing well, have a strong work ethic and an interest in the language. And then sometimes students will switch languages. So maybe they were taking French and they want to take Italian. They would go into level 1 in grade 9.
So it's not a prerequisite to have taken French in middle school to start taking French in high school?
Nope, you can take it.
And would you be able to share what other language opportunities they have besides French and Spanish in the high school?
So we have, in the high school, we have Spanish, French, Italian, and Latin. All 4 of those languages go through the AP level. This will be the first year we're running AP Latin. It will be new. Now students also have the opportunity to earn their world language graduation credits through alternative pathways through that option 2 piece. They can do that through taking a course outside of Monroe Township High School. They can do that through testing. So they would take a proficiency assessment and earn that level of proficiency. Those all require prior approval by me in the spring during the course selection process. And students can earn through that lens as well.
Okay, that's good to know. And how many kids did we have in the first year of advanced ELA at the middle school?
At the middle school.
Did we have it in all 3 grade levels?
So in last year in grade 6, we had, if you want exact numbers,
No,
I'll
just
send them to
ballpark,
you.
just ballpark.
In grade 6, we had about 15 students.
Okay.
Grade 7, we had a bubble. So I believe we had about 30, we had 2 sections, we had about 32 students. Grade 8, I want to say we had about 18 students. But grade 7 was that, there was a little bit of a bubble there anyway.
And we've quantified the performance.
Yes.
And what did the first year look like in terms of these children, where they started and where they end?
So what was very interesting is we really looked at students' math scores. That's the most quantifiable piece that we have. We don't have our JSLA scores yet. These are students who were already scoring above that 95th percentile. The most interesting thing is that we have an achievement score in math and then we have a growth percentile.
Right.
That growth percentile for these students, they were continuing to make progress. So, for example, when these students were in grade 4 or grade 5, yes, they were performing extremely high, but their growth was about average. Their growth went up. So they were continuing to perform high, but they were also learning. Their skills were continuing to deepen, as evidenced by the growth scores that we have for students. I hope I'm explaining that well.
I do have one final question, but it's not related to what Dr. Rosa already shared. So if you have questions about what she already shared, please go ahead.
I just have one.
Yeah, please.
Do they get extra credit for taking an AP course?
So their GPA is weighted.
Okay.
So yes, they do get that weighted GPA. The AP courses are rigorous. And if they take the assessment and they score that 3 or higher, a college may accept that.
Thank you.
Yep.
Just the other question that I had, Dr. Roselle, was world language, Spanish. You start in what grade, and are those curriculum documents current with?
Yes, so we start in elementary school. And that is an exposure. So when we think about proficiency levels, they go from novice low, which is learning a few basic phrases, straight up through a superior or distinguished level of proficiency, which is native speakers may not attain that. So we start in elementary school with songs. We do a cultural study, so different Spanish-speaking countries, different regions.
Is that third grade?
There's some K-2, which is pushed out through Google Classroom, and that may be some kind of interactive activities.
Okay.
We have grade 3, which is a little similar. Grades 4 and 5 is really where our focus is right
Okay.
now. World language teachers are hard to find.
Mhm. Awesome.
But we continue to develop the program, as best we can. And our rates of biliteracy have continued to increase in the past several
And
years
we
as
have
well.
curriculum documents in place for that?
Yes, there are curriculum documents. Yes, they're grade banded, so there's K-2 and 3 to 5.
Okay, K to 2 and
Yes.
3 to 5.
Yes,
So
they're
we had that opportunity of that 3-year window to accomplish the
Correct.
goals.
Yes, and that actually even continues into grade 6 and always has, is that's really just an exposure, and learning that studying a second language is important. It really isn't until grade 7 that students really kind of get into the meat of that.
Excellent, thank you. Okay, good, good, yeah. Is that all that you had, Dr. Roselle?
That's it.
Okay, then Mr. Morales, it's all yours.
So tonight I'll be presenting a new sixth grade course that is entitled Life Literacies and Key Skills. This course was temporarily referred to as CHAMP. Tonight we are going to present what this new course is going to bring to the sixth grade students of the Monroe Township Middle School. So coming out of 2020, or the pandemic, really, the State Department of Education recognized that there were some deficiencies in students, not necessarily exclusively tied to learning. So what the state did was they revised their state standards and introduced to us Standard 9, specifically Standards 9.1 through 4, which are explicitly titled as Career Readiness, Life Literacy, and Key Skills. And what the state intends to do was to integrate this style of learning K to 12. Whereas historically it had been limited 9 through 12 with some sprinklings in the middle school and throughout the elementary school. And then what individualized school districts would do in response to that would be pop up specific programs and kind of silo them and embed them within the already existing school day or curriculum to make sure that the students are being offered preeminent educational opportunities and in compliance with what the state was expecting, which was a full integration of these standards. We had an opportunity this year to take a look at what our students needed in sixth grade and what the state was asking them to do, what we already had, and what opportunities were presented to us. And what we have in front of us is the result. CLCS, Career Readiness, Life Literacies, and Key Skills, is being referred to by the middle school as Life Literacies and Key Skills, and it's pretty explicit with the units of study in which we'll be teaching all of our sixth grade students. And if you'll notice a direct correlation with this course and curriculum to Standard 9. So much so that the course or the unit titles line up directly with what the state is asking us to do. Those units include 21st Century Career Readiness, Education and Career Planning and Awareness, Digital Citizenship and Technology Literacy, Critical Thinking, Problem Solving, and Innovation, Local, Global, and Cultural Awareness, and our Personal Financial Literacy and Responsibility Requirement, all integrated and woven throughout this course. The course is structured in a way that's pretty similar to some of our sixth grade courses, whereas you notice that those key foundational pieces of the course, which are the 21st century skills and the educational planning and awareness, those units of study are layered over the more nuanced or focused units of study throughout the year, because those are skills that are going to be evolving with our sixth grade students as they come of age and as they start to understand fundamentally and more on a complex level what these skills and these lessons will be. Specifically, we talk about everything from career planning using software and intuitive software to what the state defines as career ready practices, which were formerly referred to as soft skills, employability skills, the kind of behavioral skills that apply to academia and professionalism. Historically, at the middle school, we had a lot of these things happening just in contained, individualized, compartmentalized ways. For example, we had the LEAD program, which has run, it's a staple of our school, runs throughout the year. and kind of run alongside these programs. What we have done with this course is we have fully and authentically integrated the LEAD program into the course. So it lines up with the critical thinking, problem solving, innovation, the career readiness, the planning and awareness, citizenship, cultural awareness, and they all tie very neatly and nicely together. Same applies to our district's commitment to add them in the Wicker strategies, which on their own can be applied and utilized quite nicely, but when authentically integrated into a coherent and sequenced course, they become optimized. And that's what this course does. And if you had an opportunity to look through the way that our stage 2 and stage 3 was set up, you'll find that the Wicker strategies, the LEAD program, and all other related programs that kind of fell as outliers within the core fundamental instructional plan of the middle school have all been integrated authentically and lined and driven by the standards. The state has made it very easy for us to do this. So much so that the state has even gone and explicitly tied career technical student organizations and also other professional organizations that have driven the creation of these standards, including the Association for School Counselors, all of the FBLA, DECA, and high school CTSOs, junior achievement, all of these organizations that are endorsed by the state of New Jersey have come together to design this standard, Standard 9, which I encourage all middle school parents and high school parents to learn more about, because this is the direction that the Department of Education has been going over the last 5 or 6 years, if you haven't been paying attention. The department has been increasing its emphasis and its desire to better equip students with career readiness, life literacies, and key skills, a concern that was amplified and magnified coming out of the pandemic. You may have heard Dr. Chanley reference student behaviors in the hallways, right? Not looking in the eyes, things like that. This is not a concern that is localized to Monroe. This is something that the state recognized as a challenge, and that is the essence and the genesis of this standard. A credit to the high school. The high school has been structuring its courses on the foundation of this standard for some time now. We've been very much aware that career readiness, Dr. Higgins has pledged a commitment to CTE programs and dual credit certification programs. So this is the district's commitment to doubling down on the career readiness, life literacies, and key skills standard and course development has long preceded this year. And it's something that we continue to develop. And if you look at the types of courses that we've been developing, it's been very consistent. This school, you will be launching an automotive metal fabrication course. We continue to design courses like Living on Your Own, adaptive electives that meet the needs of all students. And to that end, this course is fully adaptable and you can notice also in our units, we have opportunities to differentiate for some of our students with special needs, but there's also opportunities for extension learning opportunities for some of our more gifted students. We like the idea that this class is one of the few opportunities that we have left to catch all of our students before they start to fan out and study in their lane of which they wish to pursue. We looked at this course similarly a few years ago when we made a decision that we were going to teach personal finance and economics digitally. It was met with some concern and why, and no one's doing this, why we need it. And the idea is that because we recognize that the landscape and the nature of the educational arena is evolving, and schools are being asked to do a lot more than we've had to do in the past from a curricular standpoint. The state recognizes this, thus the creation of the standard, and the middle school has recognized this, thus the move to consolidate all of these wonderful programs into one coherent course. And that's what we'll be doing this year. The team did an excellent job of putting this course together. Our instructors have been offered a plethora of resources, sample assessments, some of which I gave you, so you can kind of take a look. They're also embedded in the document. And I imagine this course will continue to evolve over time. The state has already made it pretty clear that these standards are very fluid. They will be changing as job data changes, as software improves, and as our societal needs evolve. One area, one last thing I'll bring to your attention is the local, global, and cultural awareness standards that we are addressing in this class. We designed this unit specifically to discuss some of the emerging needs locally here in Monroe, but also at the national level, which, as you know, are evolving quite regularly over time. And it is the expectation of this curriculum and the teachers to evolve their teaching and evolve their way of instructing our children in these areas over time as well. And the state offers tons of professional development through the Office of Career and Technical Education. Our district is obviously committed to this area, K-12, and we look forward to being able to use this course as a way to optimize student performance throughout the middle school. So we'll see how it goes. We're pretty confident, the teachers are ready to go, and if anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
So my first question is, what are we calling it, clicks? Because that's too long a name.
As far as the schedules that are going out, life literacy and key skills.
Life literacy and key skills.
Yeah.
Thank you. I honestly thought it would be the cool CLKS acronym, but life literacy and key skills.
That's actually what it is. That's actually what it is on the state website. Like if you go,
CLKS,
it
right?
is
Yeah.
called CLKS. And if you're on the nj.gov or
Yeah,
anybody
the
that's
link that
looking for some light reading, on nj.gov, you go to standard, it's called clicks.
We also ran a course, we ran this course at the high school this year. It was an inclusion elective. It was only offered to some of our youngest students, as a pilot.
Yes.
It went very well. It wasn't executed in the same spirit that this course would be because we kind of merged with some of our career technical education electives with some of our younger learners. But the experience that we took from that course drove a lot of our decision-making for the design of this curriculum. And we pulled a lot of the essence of this design came from the experiences of those teachers this year, some of the things that worked, some of the things that didn't. But like I said, this is a course that we believe will continue to evolve, and I would pay close attention to it because, you know, this is exactly what the parents are asking for, but also our teachers are asking for it as well.
So the New Jersey Learning Standard 9.1 to 9.4 is for what block of grades? Is this?
It's K to 12. The state,
K through
yeah,
12,
state, disaggregates their milestone grades 2, 5, 8, and 12.
Okay,
So you'll notice that some of our standards will blend somewhere in the middle, but the standards that we have designed this course in the spirit of the grade 8 standard.
I don't have any more questions. Go ahead.
Let's to share that what you shared with me. I saw the first. I see this before all this came out, because this is not what I would call champs per se. This, from my perspective, this is different. You may not see it that way, but that's how I see it. I think seeing it in this format with the New Jersey Department of Education stamp on it is critical, absolutely critical, because it's saying this is something we should be looking at. And so when I met with you folks, and I met with you were there and as well, and I was delighted to see something like this. I really was. It was very positive. And in my way of thinking, it really says to me, well, yeah, maybe this is something we really need to put it into our grade levels. I just have a couple of concerns. The grade levels, 2, 5, 8, and 11 is the grade levels that by the end of these grade levels, there are certain expectations. So how do you make, because we're moving into grade 6. So what happens at the other grade levels? How do you get the consistency of what we're saying here at the other grade levels? This is so new.
So, I can speak to stuff, right? If you don't mind. So the way that the cycles, 'cause I used to oversee all the electives at the middle school. So it used to work, where students would get this rotisserie of sampling of programming, and that still does exist. But there was really nothing to really bring it all together in a broader context. Here you have your art, your media skills, your technology, whatever, right? And the idea is of exposure, right, at that level, so also explaining that, there's a difference between a club and a course, right? Art club or art class are two totally different things. And also, yeah, right, no, but sometimes people forget. Developing those disciplines that extend beyond your traditional academia, right? So these are the purposes sometimes of these 6th grade electives. This course does all that without abating those electives, but also through the career readiness and planning. Hopefully, if we're teaching this course right, which I believe we'll do, we'll then optimize their ability to now make informed choices, because in 7th grade after middle school, students now have an opportunity to select electives and to enter into some of these more focused programs as they prepare for high school. So Another example I'll give you, if you were to pop into the Intro to Engineering 8th grade curriculum document that we offer at the middle school, you will notice that all of the curriculum documents that are considered an elective or that come out of the careers or fine arts department under Mr. Snyder will include standards from standard 9. Because the state's intent is not to just limit the essence of clicks to one categorical area, or, right? We need to embed these standards and these practices into all of our courses. So the idea of the 6th grade elective would be to lay a foundational education in this career readiness, these employability skills, which would then allow them to optimize their decision-making as they approach 7th grade and then employ these skills as they start to settle into an area, academia, or potential career readiness that they're comfortable with.
So some of the curriculum that we have is actually linked to this particular curriculum as the kids go through grades, 1, or even grades K if you want. Because there are elements contained in this document that you'll see repeating itself in other documents.
Yes, for example, digital citizenship will pop up in multiple curriculum documents. Cultural awareness, and local, global, and cultural awareness will pop up in multiple curriculum areas. What we're hoping to see are these 21st century clicks in every program, being employed in every program, but also instructors addressing them in every program. This 6th grade class, in college, they would call this freshman seminar, right? In some schools, they call it WIN, what I need period. In many middle schools around here, they have what they call a flex period where students will funnel in there and they'll get these types of skills taught. What Monroe is offering our learners, all of them, is a coherent and sequenced program with a focus with assessments that are going to drive achievement and help us analyze achievement and then improve along the way. And I don't think many middle schools have a coherent course that do this. They usually wait till high school. We have 2 courses currently at the high school, one called Living on Your Own, the other is called Clicks. That already do this. We're ready to get into the middle school.
So how are you going to assess this?
Well, through a variety of ways, some of which may be familiar to some of our middle school students. Many of our assessments are project-based type assessments that will pull on a variety of skills. We have sample assessments. Some of them will be run through financial literacy simulations. Some of them will be brand management development. Some of them will be, I know we don't use Naviance anymore, I forget what the other thing's called, but some adaptive career readiness and matchmaking software. So all of these things were happening at the middle school for years, just in silos, like I mentioned before. This course is bringing it all together and also allows us to layer some of these state requirements, but also some of the objectives that we have as a district in a catch-all elective, not an elective, and a catch-all course that is going to, we believe, improve performance in 7th and 8th grade.
Yeah, I thank you for all this information. This is new. It's new by the state. It's certainly new the way we're implementing. I'd like to see some kind of an assessment. Sure. A qualitative assessment that we could get our hands on, we can look at and see how the kids reacting to the program. Because it's so new. I'm not blaming right now looking at this. I mean, I really support this. I think it's a good thing for the kids, and I think.
That's how I felt.
And I have one other question. And this is something I've dealt with all the years I've been through my entire education, my entire teaching career. You hear it over and over again. And it's called the overcrowded curriculum, where we're starting something new. And I understand the concept, just look forward to the future. You know, we got so much technology going on that we need to make change as we move forward. And I commend you folks because I think you see that and it's reflected in some of the things that you're sharing with us. And in my conversation with you, you know, I kind of began to see it in many ways as we were talking about AI.
Right.
If
I could just make one more comment, which I think makes this program unique. This curriculum was designed by multiple stakeholders, members of our guidance department,
right.
Members of a variety of departments. And I think that that's significant because this is not a class that could be categorized into a content area. This is exactly what the standard says. It's career readiness, life literacy, right? Life, we don't want to call it life 101, but that's what this is. But I think it's also important to recognize that Monroe Township School District has a higher standard of learning than most districts. And, you know, when we introduce a class like this, we are not meeting a mark. We're not trying to shoot par here. This is a course that when we design anything new, the intent is to create an optimized performance and give us an edge. And like, this is an incredible opportunity for
Kids in that.
yes, but also the district, because what happens is if this course gets executed properly, which we believe it will, this trickles into our advanced ELA performance, the cultural awareness piece, which can help deconstruct some of the challenges that we've had as a society. But also we are talking about financial literacy being implemented authentically through sixth grade lens. We're talking about civic responsibility to your local community, but also the global community in a culturally responsive way, which there's no course that Monroe can implement to teach us how to be more culturally responsive in Monroe than a course that we design ourselves with key stakeholders, and that's exactly what we do.
Yeah.
Question.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I have a question also. I can ask a question. Okay, I'm sorry. You mentioned that there's components in it for civics and ELA. I was wondering how the department supervisors feel about the program. Is this something they stand behind and support?
Is that to me or to the group?
I guess.
I think anytime that we can support our students with the skills that are embedded in this course, that's going to be beneficial. It's going to transcend the other content areas. In addition to being required to have the career readiness, life literacy, and key skills standards woven throughout curriculum documents. We also have media literacy standards that as of this January are required to be taught comprehensively K-12, and this provides another opportunity for those as well.
That's good to know. Carmen, is your question answered? Did you have another question, follow-up?
Yes, I just want, my question was answered. I do have one more. Does the teacher that teaches this course have to have any special certification, or it could be any?
So we have to speaking with Ms. Christie when we were looking at this, and I just wanted to say, I want to go back to your comment about CHAMPS. CHAMPS was nothing more than an abbreviation that was utilized just to be able to schedule the class. It has nothing to do with anything that's out there that may say CHAMPS. So I just wanted to clarify that, sir. I want to let you know that CHAMPS,
I did not know that.
yeah, that's all it is. Dr. Higgins needs to be able to be put information in. He's told me this many times, Shari, I use CHAMPS. I was going to use the word success. That was my suggestion. He went with CHAMPS. So I did want to clarify that when you spoke before. This is exactly what CHAMPS would have been, except we just decided, due to some commentary out there, perhaps it's best just to use the standard language, so we changed it. And your question is, there was no specific certification that's required. To give you an example, when we would like someone to teach a basic skills class, this is not a basic skills class. I'm giving you an analogy, an example. If we were to teach a basic skills class, anybody who has an elementary cert can teach a K through 12 basic skills class. So it's an excellent question. I appreciate you asking it. So we can say aloud, Mrs. Alvarez, that we confirm with our Director of Human Resources before anything went forward, to confirm that anybody that would be teaching it would be properly certified. And we look at this as a literacy class. And we are hopeful that anybody who teaches, I like that Sue is smiling, Ms. Casco smiling, anybody that teaches anything from math, science, social studies, language arts should have the ability to be literate and to be able to teach literacy skills. So that was an excellent question. Thank you for asking it.
I mean, Carmen, that was basically my question. I mean, I feel like we've all heard the concerns regarding CHAMPS and, you know, it's replacing PBL math, Ms. Gasco. So I think our concern was, you know, in our minds, right, and in minds of members of the community, we're getting rid of the math course, right? And now we're putting in this new program. So I do think that it was important to, you know, hear some feedback from our supervisors to, you know, just.
Yeah, you know, but just if I may comment, you know, again, I'll reiterate what I said. If we knew about this, it would have just, because Champ got a fair name. It really did help.
Unfortunately, it was really not treated properly.
It's unfortunate. However, this is dated 2020.
That's correct.
2020, we're looking at it now in 2024.
Yeah,
Okay,
Yeah.
4 years we've been sitting around. Okay, we're doing it now, but in looking through this, there's a lot of good programs in here for kids that are really, will work for them. And it's really tying into a lot of different things that I know you folks do in this district.
And
I'm delighted.
And it says 2020, but just so you know, we have not, I know it's a double negative, we have not been providing.
we've been adding it. in
Thank you.
different
So
parts.
it's always been, and I think Dr. Roselle said it best, it's always been threaded through so much curriculum, so many courses. Now we look as an opportunity as middle level pedagogy people who believe in middle level education. We saw an opportunity to take PBL and not just make it the mathematical skills, analytical skills, but look at many skills. So basically, it's just an opportunity. I like what Ms. Meralda said. Foundationally, to start it somewhere. It's always, we have been following the law. We've been following the requirements, but now we saw an opportunity. It's like certain courses just need a refresher, it needs to be freshened up. I think that's the way we would say it.
And if I.
You're absolutely
add-
right.
Yeah, if I may add, so to kind of conclude this conversation and move on to the next
Sure.
item on the agenda, there was a vision in place that it takes time to develop, and I guess that word, the acronym CHAMPS, existed out there as a behavioral management tool that everybody did not know about. And I'm glad I like this name. It's more, it's more in tune with the New Jersey Standard document. But the idea here is that when you develop something new, it goes through a growing stage. You can't come up with something the first day. So kudos to everybody that's worked on it. I want to give a shout out for this handout that we got. Charlie, you'll probably take a look at it later. It has good examples of assignments and projects, what Mr. Meralda just shared today. And all the board members will probably get it later too. Great ideas of what they'll be covering and, how the rubric will look. So it is all coming through beautifully, I have to say.
That's how it works with
Good
all the
luck.
courses that are developed.
And my hope is that Monroe will be, the pilot for a program like this that other districts will hopefully try to emulate. So good luck to everybody that worked on this. Yes, go ahead.
Quick one comment again, and I'm done. I looked at this, I really went through the framework, and then I looked at the curriculum.
Right.
Okay, and that's what really got me excited.
Good.
Okay, the framework, again, and then after I looked at the framework, and I looked at the curriculum, how you were gonna implement it, and I was looking at the literacy, things that these kids really need. That they
More so today than
I mean,
they did
not
5 years
only
ago.
just computer literacy.
Correct.
Many kids who are young, they're more computer literate than I am, for goodness sakes. And probably most of us in this room, excluding anyone who might disagree, that's why. But the dexterity and the things they can do just blow me away. So I'm just delighted to see this in this format and that it finally came together. So when I would use this word properly. That's all I got to say.
If I can confirm, Dr. Lehman, lead and avid will continue as is.
Separate, yes.
So, the way it has been,
Right.
because there are parts of it in this, but they'll
Correct.
continue as it. And I want to urge everybody out there in the community that has had concerns with this, please listen to today's meeting. There should be a curriculum document for everybody to browse through. And let's have faith in our educators. We have some of the
Thank you.
best educators in our town, and I'm positive that our students are going to benefit from this change. There's always a time for everything. There was a time for PBL. There's a time to move away from it to go into something more useful for the kids. And good luck to everybody. I'm going to move on to Ms. Rust for your curriculum documents.
Good evening, everyone.
What, I'm sorry, one more thing. Where can the members of the public find the document?
Documents are public after the board meeting. But the documents are draft form until they're approved at the board meeting.
Yeah, so when the public meeting agenda is published, that's when this document will become public.
They get published to Atlas after the board meeting. So their
For the
executive,
board meeting?
their executive content through.
Till they get approved. Got it. Sorry, thank you for that.
All curriculum.
Thank you.
Yep. That was a good question, Ms. Alvarez. Thank you for.
Thank you.
clarifying that.
Thank you, Ms. Alvarez.
So I'm going to start with our science documents. All of these documents have just been revised and updated to align to the science standards from 2020. The first course that we worked on is Honors Molecular Research. This is a very exciting course where students get to participate with Waxman Institute at Rutgers University. So, Dr. Himmelheber is the teacher who works with the students pretty much all year long. They're working on different skills to be able to do their culminating project. So, it's been the same for many years, but they're actually analyzing using DNA technology techniques, the duckweed plant. And there's many reasons why, which I'm not going to go into. But the big culmination of this project is at the end of the year, students from all over the state make a presentation at Rutgers University of their poster, of their findings. I got to go this past year and amazingly enough, students from it was just luck. They actually found a brand new protein. So
Wow.
everything they sequence, they actually have the opportunity, if it's new, to actually be published. So some students will have the opportunity, depending on the sequencing they work with, to actually be published in an actual scientific journal. So the main goal of this course is giving them the background information to be able to learn the hard lab skills to then ultimately be independently working on the research as well. The other nice component of this program is every year, one student goes to Rutgers to become, in the summertime, a student leader. So they also then teach and turnkey the techniques to their students. So it's a really, really great program. And our students have really found a lot of success with it, and they really do a great job.
How long have you had it, Ms. Rust?
A few years now. It's definitely been at least, I would say, over 5.
What's our class size like in this program?
It's about 30.
Wow, that's.
So, they really, really do a great job. And, you know, you're asking about the career readiness, and this class is really continuing that, because you could see the one unit preparing a scientific presentation. And they have to be up there, and Rutgers professors come around, and they really need to be able to use those skills to explain their scientific research.
That's incredible. Anybody questions?
Any questions on that one? Okay. My other documents are pretty much, they're all AP documents. So we have AP Biology. This course follows very closely the curriculum set forth by College Board. Our units include chemistry applied, cell structure, cellular energetics, cellular communication, heredity, gene expression, natural selection, ecology. This class, as I said, pretty much follows exactly the College Board documentation, so that our students not only are, if they choose to take the AP exam, prepared for that, but also they're getting that college level biology experience. So you see there's many labs that are written in, a lot of different activities, all gearing students towards being able to find success with biology in the future. Questions on that? Okay. Our next one is AP Physics 2. So AP Physics 2 recently was just updated by College Board. They kind of moved some units around with AP Physics 1. So that also prompted us to really look at our Physics 2 curriculum. This course is something that's only offered to seniors just because you have to have either completed honors physics or AP Physics 1 to be able to move on to this. It covers electrical fields, electrical currents, magnetism, geometric optics, waves, sounds, modern physics, and heat and thermodynamics. The kids really do a great job with this. It is more math heavy and experimentally heavy. They really do a lot of hands-on work in this course. But we adjusted it to make sure that we're following the new guidance from AP.
So the AP Biology is available to freshmen?
Correct. The only thing with that is at the end of 8th grade, we do called a readiness assessment. So students who prove that they are ready for the rigor of an EP class, we do allow them to take it.
Okay.
This course is open because it doesn't meet every day, and at this point, they've already taken the necessary prerequisite. So
Anybody else, any questions on AP Physics 2?
recently, one of our more popular courses that's been growing in popularity is our AP Environmental Science. I'll be honest, I'm happy it's growing because hopefully these students are going to be the ones that figure out, you know, some of the challenges we're facing in the environment in the future. But it is, again, a typical ecology course. They learn about ecosystems, biodiversity, the earth and resources, land and water use, pollution of all different kinds, and how to really deal with the human impact and global change. So this is a really comprehensive course in environmental science. It does not meet every day, it meets every other day. And students really do get a really good foundation, hopefully in gaining a better understanding of the earth around them.
Do we allow sophomores to take it?
Yes, we do.
Not freshmen, right?
Not freshmen.
Anybody else have questions on that?
Okay. That is all I have for science.
All of these classes, biology, physics, environmental science, they have multiple sections or?
Yes. They all have, so AP Biology runs between usually an average of 3 to 4 sections a year because it meets every day. AP Environmental, it could be 3 to 6 sections every year. Physics is a little bit smaller. Usually the students who are opting to take Physics 2 or even our Physics C are really into physics.
Right.
So, which is great, but they're typically a little bit smaller. Okay. My next document is for social studies. It is grade 7 social studies and civics. Our units for this include ancient Greece, ancient Rome, the Middle Ages, Renaissance, and our civics portion. We pretty much pick up where 6th grade left off with the civilizations. 6th grade finishes with China. We pick up with ancient Greece. So for all of these pieces, they, for the civics lens, they're going to talk about human rights. Why do we need to be a citizen? The common good, rights and responsibilities of citizenship, public policy. You can see that there's a mock trial that's written in there. There's a public policy debate that's written in there. And if you really look at it, it does make sense in terms of continuum because we really talk a lot about the beginnings of citizenship in ancient Greece and ancient Rome.
Yes. Right.
So there is this connection that students can make to, oh, remember when we talked about who had rights as a citizen in ancient Rome? Now we can do this. So there is that nice thread that will be able to be carried throughout.
Ms. Russ, would you be able to speak to how it's structured over the year? Because, so this is new, right? This is a new setup. So would they be devoting a later marking period to the civics aspect of it, or is it intermingled through the ancient Greek and?
So they'll touch on different things. And then really when we get to 4th quarter, the way we're envisioning it is we're going to tie up all those loose ends that we've been talking about and really hone in and focus. So, for example, they talk a lot about the Magna Carta. Why does that matter? And really putting it in a modern lens. So they'll be kind of learning the important threads in the beginning. And then as we move towards the end of the year, they'll be able to tie that up together and see that connection to our current.
This makes sense. Okay. Any questions? Anybody on that?
And the last thing is we have a textbook that's up for adoption. It is for our AP African American Studies program. The title of it is Freedom on My Mind. This textbook comes extremely highly recommended. The teacher who is going to be teaching this course actually just completed a workshop at Rutgers, and several schools who were piloting the program prior to it becoming eligible to be used across the country, used this text and really raved about it. So there's excellent documents embedded within. This curriculum is unique in that it really is going to have students looking at a lot of documents and primary sources. So the really nice thing about this text is that they're embedded in there. The other nice piece is that there is a companion site called Achieve that can have questions on there that students can practice, since this is really the first time that this course is being taught across the country. So it really had a lot of supports that the teacher felt would be good for our learners.
I just want to touch on that. This was a course that we received a grant for a few months ago.
Correct. So this would be, this particular textbook will be purchased using the grant funds. So that was part of the grant.
Anybody, any questions on that? Do you have a question on the textbook?
No, I do not. Thank you.
Okay, you done, Ms. Ross?
I am
Thank
done.
you very much. Mr. Snyder, your turn now.
I have a variety of documents, a lot of different areas, so. Yes, if you don't mind sending that down, there should be enough for everyone.
Thank you. Thanks.
So we have 4 documents from our Fine and Performing Arts at Monroe Township High School, 1 in the Performing Arts, 3 in the Fine Arts. We have 1 from our high school physical education, and then 1 from our elementary art. So 6 documents in total we're going to talk today. The first document is our Monroe Township High School Symphonic Band course, which is our curricular ensemble within the Monroe Township High School Band program. This is our non-auditioned ensemble, so this is open to any student grades 9 through 12, and no audition required for this. This consists of students playing a wind, brass, or percussion instrument, and the course really stresses ensemble skills, literacy advancement, sight reading, and introduction to high school level music on usually the grade 3.5 to 4 level, the intermediate level. So we go through a broad spectrum of concert literature with a variety of styles and structures of music in this course. And students participate in multiple concerts, festivals, and workshops throughout the year. They are adjudicated and also get the opportunity to play for a number of guest composers and conductors through the year, which is really exciting. This course fully optimizes our district's vertical teaching model, which you've heard me say, I know in here many times, but it bears repeating. It really is the gold standard model that we have here in the district, and that model is the success that the band program has is due to that amazing resource that we're able to offer here. So this course fully optimizes that. And the nice part about that, especially in this course, is there's a lot of freshmen that take this course. So when they walk into symphonic band, they still see the teacher that started them on their very first note in 4th grade at either Woodland, Applegarth, or Brookside. And now they're still getting training from that same teacher every week at the high school, which is just really cool, not only for the students, but when I was a teacher, seeing those students up at the high school and remembering the first day that they started, it's so incredible. So using that vertical teaching resource once a week, students are broken up by sections with the vertical teacher and working on a variety of different skills and their concert music. Students are encouraged to participate and audition in events offered through CJMEA and NJMEA. We do have in this course audition techniques and mock auditions before for people that are, for students that are auditioning, as well as just tricks of the trade for auditions that students learn, even if they're not auditioning, that may want to audition for something in the future. And we hope that students develop the skills in this course to eventually land in one of our honors weighted audition-based courses. Just some highlights in here. The growth of this, which speaks to, again, our entire band program, 4th through 12th. I was thrilled to hear the numbers are at a record high this year. We have 84 students taking symphonic band this year, which has grown tremendously through the past decade. When I first got to Monroe over a decade ago, there was always symphonic band and wind ensemble. Wind ensemble was not honors at that point, but there was a distinct separation between there was wind ensemble and then there was symphonic band. I am so happy to bring to everyone's attention once again that this year, for the first time in Monroe history, the symphonic band actually got a gold rating at the high school concert band festival, which so did the wind ensemble. So there's been such a growth here where they're now so much more on par, which is just fantastic. A few other highlights is students do cover music theory within all their pieces. They technique, tone production on their instruments, and really developing their ear for listening with balance, blend, and intonation within the ensemble. And there's a big component of sight reading daily in the class, which means part of the class at the beginning, students will read something that they've never seen before, put it away, which just enhances their reading skills. So this is a fantastic document, a fantastic course that's seen its growth, and we're very proud of our students and look forward to hearing them at our concerts this year.
84 students, that's
Yeah.
incredible. It's a testament to the great program we have, thanks to the teachers and the student talent. So
Yeah.
congratulations on
And
that.
any questions about?
I see
I was gonna say the
everybody's
series
eyes,
here.
the career
yes.
pattern is like, it just sees.
It's in the next like 3 or 4 pages.
It is
It's
the same
incorporated
that ties
into it.
into what we were
You can
just-
move on to your next document.
we were just talking about. Yeah,
Yeah.
but the standards are there. So our next document, going over to our fine arts, is one of our more advanced courses at Monroe Township High School in our department, and that is Graphic Design 3. Some highlights here are students use the skills developed from previous graphic design courses. There is a prerequisite of taking graphic design 1 and 2. So this course is open to students in grades 11 and 12. Students will take the skills that they've learned and enhance them through advanced real-world assignments, and they're going to continue to use Adobe Suite to produce designs that really attract attention, and they're going to create designs in many styles that can be really recognized on everything from websites to business cards to even sports jerseys and clothing in this course. By this point, students really have developed their artistic style and vision. So this course gives them a lot of flexibility to really go for it as they're there. As they are juniors and seniors already, they have already started developing a portfolio by this point. So at this point, they're taking work that they've done the past couple of years and really adding it to really making, putting that professional touch on their portfolio, which in some cases, if they're seniors, will be their final artistic portfolio. And if a senior goes into a field of this kind, they have something ready to go. So some of the units is we continue exploring Adobe, their portfolio development, as I mentioned, and logo design, their own fonts, and their own knowledge of software that they're using. The students discover and end up teaching us things sometimes about what they discovered in this software. So it's a very, very cool thing. And this course, I do want to say, it offers instructional experiences to all types of learners. And it's really impressive what some of these students have done. When I walk through and see some of these, I go, wow, that's really cool. Who created that? And it was one of our students. So we're very happy to be running this course this year. So
How many years have we had this course?
this one, we've had, Mr. Moraldo, Mike, this was, I would say 5 or 6.
It's been since we started the year before we did the interns, which I know the interns began when we came over here, so I would say at least 2 years before we moved over to the new high school. So we,
The new high school.
yeah, so we've
Okay,
run,
okay,
we've
so
run
this
graphic
third-
design, yeah.
Third level of the course, right?
No, this third level.
Yeah, so it used to be where digital photography and graphic design would converge
Okay,
into one like advanced digital art course. But as the software and the technology became more technical and if you get mainly software and the artistic components became more of a driving force of the course. So because it really is a fine arts course and the tech course.
Right.
And the student interest drove the ability to, and that, these are courses also line up with the career technical education
Yeah.
department, which is what Mr. Snyder and Dr. Higgins are currently trying to line up with other institutions.
and to your point, they do need 2 years for some of those competitive schools out there.
Oh, sure.
You need 2 years to prepare your portfolio, and it's good to see that they have enough opportunity as they're taking the courses to work on their personal portfolio, so. I don't have any other questions. All yours.
Next. So our next two documents are two of our, I don't want to say entry level art courses at the high school, but our more beginning courses at the high school. And the first one is Studio Art 1, which is a very popular course. And this class is open to students grades 9 through 12. And it's really for the student that is interested in art, but may not have the background that, and they want to learn more about art and just in a very generalized sense. Studio art explores drawing, painting, with elements of art history in there. So they get a very wide range of projects and knowledge from taking this course. The focus is on developing really technique and skills and experimenting with different media, which allows students to gain observational knowledge and begin to develop their own artistic style, which is the thing that is, I want to hone upon here is this course will give students the opening to really say, wow, I like this style of art, or this is where I see myself, this is where my tastes are in the as an artist at the very beginning level. And going back, we went backwards a little bit, but this course is where students will start their portfolios for art. So students that continue on to Studio Art 2, Studio Art, and or more advanced Studio Art courses, this is the starting point for their for that in Studio Art 1. So another highlight, we're running multiple sections of this. I believe we're running 4 sections of this year because the demand is there for this course. And it's students, freshmen, and even a senior that never got to take an art course is welcome to take this course. And we do see seniors taking there that they want an art course and are interested in learning. And some of them have developed through this particular course skills and realized they had skills as an artist that they might not have ever realized before, which is always a really pleasant surprise to.
And they're probably taking it just to meet the graduation requirement and then end up finding out, oh, I have an artist in me.
That was Studio Art 1, and the next course is Ceramics and Sculpture 1, which is another beginning course for students that are interested of the level of 3D design and working with ceramics and clay and really making some interesting projects as an artist. Students apply and build upon prior knowledge related to the elements of art and the principles of design and relate them to three-dimensional works of art through sculpture and ceramics. So if you walk in our performing arts wing in the windows, you see projects from students that they made in ceramics. You see them all over the wing. That it's really. I've observed this course and I'm amazed every time I go I go in there, and I'm someone who doesn't like to get my hands dirty, but I wanted to jump right in and play with the clay and go right in. So the cool part about this course is the history behind it, because so many of the projects actually have a historical meaning to it. So there's a lot of cross-curricular opportunities in our ceramics and sculpture program where they're making something from a certain culture or that they might be studying in history at the time. So there's a lot of correlation there that I've observed. This course, again, is open to students at 9 through 12, and we do have, again, seniors taking this course just out of interest, and there are multiple levels of ceramic exposure. This is the very beginning level, and students, again, their portfolio development here, these projects are much bigger than that could fit in an actual folder, but the idea is the same, that they can develop these through time. So we're very happy, a lot of interest in this course at the high school. So 2 more, I'm almost there.
Yeah.
We're jumping to phys ed at the high school, and this is a course that we're very proud of at Monroe Township High School, which is our Falcon Pals course, which are unified programs at the high school. They're innovative and rewarding and productive for all students that are involved. Our Pals program is a Special Olympics New Jersey Unified Championship School Model program. And this course is a course that has multiple types of learners in it. We have students that are special learners along with their pals who are general education students, peer-assisted leadership skills. And they are with them in phys ed, and it's just heartwarming to go in and watch what has been accomplished in this course. The thing that, and I put this in my little handout, but really the students working together toward a unified purpose, it's a safe environment and it's a fun environment for everyone. And they're afforded just a great opportunity to learn, to engage in physical activities, but even more importantly than that, to socialize and create friendships and do tremendous activities together. This document is filled with activities, everything from team building to fitness, walking, rhythmic movement, and dance. The sports that we cover are the same as in general physical education courses: soccer, basketball, hockey, tennis, racket sports, badminton, all that. This does require, by the way, I should go back and say this does fulfill the physical education graduation requirements for all students. We cover lifetime life skills such as golf, bowling, even cornhole, frisbee, things that I learned about this past year, my first year of supervising phys ed, intro to fitness, and also health-related fitness. And the students work together, they help each other through this all. There are units of health included, which again meet the requirements and the standards and the graduation requirements for that as well. We talk about relationships, both healthy and unhealthy, bullying, how to avoid bullying, what to do when bullied, the whole topic of that, making smart decisions. What is a good decision? What is a bad decision? How do we think about our decisions to make the right decisions? Hygiene, emotions, nutrition, self-esteem are just a small amount of topics that are covered within the health units of there. Students are in this course for 4 years, while the PALs are different. So each year they're going to cover a different area of health. I just went through a lot of them right there, but they're covered throughout the course of their education there. The growth development is one of the highlights of this course, where students really can develop as in 4 years, going from where they are to the end, and just everything that goes along with that in there. And it's so heartwarming to see the PALs as just such a warm relationship there that helps student growth development throughout that whole thing. So it's a course that's very valued and we're very proud of at the high school.
As a parent of 2 pals, I cannot agree more with you. So this is our program in the school is just incredible. It's an opportunity for both types of students to coexist and learn from each other. And
Yes.
it's priceless.
Yeah,
Great program.
and
Thank you.
there are more and more students we're finding, each year that want to be pals,
Yeah.
which is great. So.
We have one more document.
And then
Yeah.
going-
Left on the agenda.
So we're going backwards. This is grade 2 art, the elementary school. We're finalizing that one. And this is, the Department of Fine and Performing Arts, for the elementary visual arts is really, the best thing that I can say about this document is we are committed to whole child education. And this is an opportunity in second grade for students to learn about so many different areas and mediums of art and color and find really what they like. They play with many different materials, pictures, projects, drawing, painting. They learn the language of art at this age with many key terms that stay with them that relate to so many things that they're doing. And they also are exposed to some art history at this age and being able to recognize different types of paintings from everything such as clothing to paintings that you're hanging up, paintings that, are just very simple in nature, but they're able to learn and understand the terminology for all of it. They learn about 2D, 3D, and mixed media art, which combines more than one medium or material with it. And art appreciation, being able to just, even walking at that age, recognize when they see a piece of art, which is great. There are opportunities for students to showcase their art in our exhibitions and our art shows at the elementary level too. So students will have art once a week in second grade and continue on through their elementary experience and able to then take that wherever they wish in their artistic vision.
That exhibition end of the year is phenomenal,
Oh,
where all
wonderful.
of our elementary school art is
Yeah.
placed.
And I do have ideas to bring that together as a district, because right now it's
Good
separate.
luck to you.
So going forward.
Yeah, so that's a great idea.
So,
Dr. Lehman, if I can switch
Yeah.
the order really quick in the
Yeah.
essence of time, just to do two renewals, and then I'll give it to Mr. Monroe, who's used to finish wrapping up in 2 minutes, whatever. Thank you to the renewals, sir.
Yeah, sure. So we have IXL, which is an intervention program we have for mathematics. It's a K-12 intervention tool. It's something we used last year. We're going to renew it and use it as an intervention tool this year. It's a part of that RTI process, response intervention, multi-tier system of support that we've been talking about kind of throughout the past few months. Again, it's just another level of support that we will give our interventionists as a tool to help our students grow and meet the needs that they can certainly achieve.
Would this be covered by that grant, the MTSS grant, or no?
So this one is not, no.
Okay.
Nope. And then another renewal we have is a company called SCORE. So what you saw last month was the seniors portion of the Naviance contract approved. The freshmen through junior are transferring to a similar product called SCORE. It's something that Dr. Catelli and her team over the springtime explored in terms of a new resource. Everything from Naviance will transfer over to SCORE. SCORE is more updated, more user-friendly, very receptive to feedback. They have a emerging piece that will connect at the middle school level, which is something we're very, very interested in. It'll link right in with our new sixth grade course that we're offering. So they're developing this middle school aspect to it. So it's something we can keep our eye on. What you'll see in this contract is we have the licenses for the entire school. They credited us for the high school, for the seniors. So we're only paying for freshmen through juniors. We'll have licenses for seniors. We don't have any intention of messing with the seniors. They're in Naviance. They're ready to roll. They're ready to apply. They're ready to move on to the college application process. So we're not touching or changing anything with them. Although some districts, when they transition to SCORE, the transition is seamless enough that they said you could do it. We did not want to do it. So that's why this year We're freshman through junior with SCORE, seniors in Naviance, and then next year we'll have everyone will be on the Naviance or the SCORE platform. Definitely invite Dr. Catelli to come in and talk about the new program, not about the new format, the new structure, the new tool we're going to use. Again, it has a lot of similarities to Naviance. And when we bring her, we can actually have her kind of complete the Avid kind of overview for the district as well.
I think it's a great idea to bring her in to see, is there a cost benefit to moving to SCORE?
Yeah, so SCORE is less expensive. That was not the driving force to make the change. She believes and her department believes it's a much more, say modern or more modern, but a much more like user-friendly, mobile-friendly. It's just a better platform for the students to use. So that was really kind of and plus it was a seamless transition from Naviance. That was the driving force. But yes, the side benefit is it's cheaper than Naviance as well.
So for the community members that are listening in, we are going to do away with Naviance and transition over to SCORE. But I do applaud your decision of not touching the seniors because they have enough to stress about and to add that stress towards the end when they're applying. So this was a great decision. Thank you.
Yeah, and just two other things. We have two professional development opportunities that we'll have for approval. They're coaching opportunities through Dr. Paul Riccomoni. He will be supporting our interventionists in both language arts and math, and it's grant funded. So this is covered by our title grants, and you'll see that on there.
And we've done this in the past and it was a huge success.
So we've used Dr. Riccomoni in the past in a different capacity.
Okay.
With specific training in mathematics, in differentiation and supporting with focus on like our ICR resource room teachers and then as well as gen ed. This is going to be targeted for our interventionists and supporting them in differentiating and modifying instruction within their role. So they're actually going to get some coaching experience. They're going to get one-on-one feedback from him as opposed to more of the large group environment. So much more focused, again, under the MTSS umbrella.
He's gonna work individually with them to
Yep.
really.
So it wouldn't be
He's
a
an
group
expert in the field in it, and so when we've had him in the past, it's been more of a whole group. This is the way to kind of like, deal with tiered, instruction within a whole group class, but this is literally like another area of his expertise is working with these interventionists, and he does it to schools all over the country. We've never had the ability to have the coaching beforehand, and these teachers are brand new to what they're doing, and he can take it and, he's obviously got the expertise in math, but he's also worked with ELA teachers as well, doing the same type of thing. And that way he can sit in the class, work with them, talk to them, give them suggestions, give them ideas, and go through each one. He'll see our personal scenario, which is where the benefit of the coaching is, because he'll know exactly what's going on, what students he has. And he's phenomenal. Every teacher I've had that's dealt with him has literally loved him.
All right, good luck.
So Mr. Moraldo, I'll give you the option. Would you like to give the 2-minute version or you want to table this for the next meeting? It's up to you.
If it's okay with me, I'd prefer the 2-minute version.
Sure.
Only because some of these things we'd like to get moving on.
Okay.
And just want to make sure that the committee is aware. And this is nothing new. Basically every year, and I have some handouts.
Alvarez, 5 more minutes.
Please. Every year, we're obligated as a district should I have waited for the answer?
No, go ahead.
To disclose what our gifted and talented services are for the upcoming school year. Gifted and talented in Monroe, means a lot of different things. We used to call it tag, we used to call it a bunch of different things, but gifted and talented is a descriptor that is beyond a singular program, or before or after school learning opportunity. It is our district commitment and state mandated requirement to offer, learning opportunities for students that can achieve, at paces that vary from their peers. What New Jersey asks us to do is just ensure that we have formal, transparent screening processes, and then we use multiple measures of data when selecting our students. All of our programs here in Monroe County School District do just that. We have high levels of rigor, and as you can see on our annual announcement, they're very explicit. A lot of times parents ask how they can prepare for gifted and talented programs, and the idea, it really is nowhere to prepare for gifted and talented programs. In fact, I saw on Facebook the other day, there was an ad for COGAT preparation. The COGAT exam is not an exam you're supposed to prepare for. This is not an exam that you study or cram for. It's supposed to be an honest assessment. I say this very, very authentically to all the parents listening out there. It does not help us when you cram for the COGAT and you go and get a very, very high score. The COGAT is supposed to be an indicator of capacity and propensity for success. We do, however, like the math assessment. And you will see the math assessment for a lot of, and if not all, of our gifted and talented indicators, because that is a snapshot into right here and now, what these children are capable of and what they're doing and how they're performing comparatively, not just here locally, but across all levels of consideration. We have been developing our gifted and talented opportunities, everything by adding new performance ensembles in the performing arts, by refining the way we approach advanced art enrichment, the program formerly known as Art Tag. At the middle school, we have ingrained our accelerated math programs and our advanced ELA programs authentically into the school day to make sure all learners have the opportunity. And we have continued to offer nuanced and niche programs to students that may have exceptional skills in other areas that may not be identified by standardized testing. So we have new programs that pop up. Some are 6 weeks, some are 12 weeks. And as those any new program usually is grant funded or driven by some other alternative revenue generating mechanism. However, we are currently always looking for new opportunities. Sometimes grants fall in our lap. Mr. Rust and I are in the process of designing something right now for humanities. Sometimes opportunities come, and when we have them in front of us, we will take advantage of that. All of this information will be on the district website for all parents. Now, I say that with the caveat that sometime in September or shortly thereafter, we will be overhauling our entire website. We'll probably talk about that later. So in the meantime, we will keep all this information on the old site, but there will be a transition at some time in September. We look forward to working, with our parents to design cutting edge programs and to give our students learning opportunities. I will just say this, with every gifted and talented program that we offer in the district, there is a complement for all learners. There is not one program that this district offers that is exclusive to gifted learners. Everything that we offer that has that tag also has an option for students that may not be categorically gifted and talented. Again, I use that term very cautiously because gifted means a lot of different things from a lot of different lenses. And the days of just being you're gifted, so you get one program are over. We try to optimize giftedness when appropriately, as often and as frequently as possible. So this, you have a plan before you this year.
We've definitely come a long way, Mr. Monroe, with this program. My only ask would be that you did say the website is going to get overhauled. If all of our principals, building principals can make this part of their back to school night announcement and maybe send an email with this information so that community members know all the criteria, have all of this information, even if they don't go to the website.
Yeah, and we heard feedback from the community last year that they wanted some more visibility on, especially the newer programs. The accelerated math program and the cluster program and even advanced ELA, those programs are firing right now. But we recognize the parents are very interested and very eager to learn about these programs, so we will make sure that we do look more on the front end.
Thank you. Okay, excellent. We have yes, go ahead.
So you're using final grades as the basis of the performance entrance into the program following year?
It depends on the particular program. Some programs will look at final average. Other programs will look at more recent
I'm talking about math.
The accelerated math?
Yeah.
So we don't have a ton of time on that one. And I will say this, Ms. Gasco has a fantastic video. I say this cautiously, Ms. Gasco and Ms. Roselle have very detailed criteria for admissions into the program, and I would never dare to speak on it. However, I've attached Dr. Roselle's criteria to the back of your packet, and Ms. Gasco actually has a video tutorial that explains to the parents, because inevitably there's questions when they look at this, and the video, it's all this information is currently on our website, and I'm not trying to dismiss you, sir.
No, I know.
But I think that there's no way I can answer that right now, but I would advise everyone to go check out those links on our site, which are there right now. Particularly the math one, because there is a lot of data, and I know there's always a lot of questions that Ms. Gasco has to answer.
And I would be more than happy to answer questions if you want to the next time when there's more time. I know that they're trying to or individually we can. Yeah.
The video is very helpful, though.
But there is, it's on the district site and it actually is on each of the 3 school elementary sites of the appropriate ones of Applegarth, Brookside and Woodland. And there's a link to it. And when I do it usually in the winter time and it stays there all year, And the parents do reference it a lot, because when they call me, they'll say, I watched the video and.
I know what it's like, if the camera with me with the parents. I have it
right here.
100%.
Go on to our kitchen account, you see it right there.
So you can pick it up.
Mr.
right
Miranda,
from-
so we could move on to the enrichment update.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, so
I'm taking Ms. Alvarez's
yeah,
time.
so the enrichment update, we, ESY, our colleagues from ESY are not here, tonight because they're wrapped up in other things. But ESY concluded last Thursday. We generally, I feel very confidently in stating that we feel that this was absolutely our best year of ESY in recent history, certainly from COVID. Mr. Arcaro and Ms. Roldan did an awesome job. The ESY integrate gets better every year when we joined on enrichment services. There was a modification to some of the ways we did things, but we were very proud of that. That the way it worked out and the general sense of customer satisfaction at the end of ESY. As far as general enrichment services, we are coming down the home stretch. Our final modules will begin on Monday for K-8 enrichment learning. And they will wrap up at the conclusion of that week. Our SAT program, which was funded generously by the Monroe Ed Foundation, began yesterday, and we had a tremendous turnout for SAT. And one feedback that the teachers gave us is I should have given them a little bit more time in the classroom, because they used to.
More than 1.5 hours.
Yeah. But one of the students that showed up, I said, "Oh, you happy to be here?" He says, "No, but I need to be here." And I just think it speaks to our students' commitment. I'm starting to feel the buzz in the building again. Kids, and believe it or not, I think the kids are ready to come back. I don't know about the staff, but you start to see them bounce around. And we'll see how it goes, but that's it. And then reminder, enrichment is not limited to the summer, and we hope to keep launching programs throughout the fall.
Good luck with that. A lot of great things happened this summer, but I want to congratulate the entire ESY team for a fabulous year. So thank you, everybody, for the hard work. Thank you for being here tonight, and that concludes the curriculum meeting for August. Thank you. Mr. Mazzola. Yeah, go on. Mr. Mazzola?
And then